Growing up on a farm in rural Oklahoma often meant that your neighbors were usually a good distance away. Fortunately for me, my best friend Emily lived next door, but that was still about 150 yards from my front porch. One Friday evening, right before my 8th birthday, I decided to have a slumber party with some of my friends from school. There were 6 of us, including my sister and Emily. My dad was out of town on business, so my mom ordered us some pizzas and we decided to watch a movie. When it was over, Emily decided she didn't feel well, so I told her that I'd walk her home. Normally it takes a few minutes to get to her house from mine. It was nearly pitch black that night and warm. The moon and stars were carefully hidden behind a bank of clouds, so there wasn't much natural light. But we've made this walk thousands of times before, so we knew every misstep and tree stump and hole in the ground there was. Our 2 properties were separated by a magnificent stand of old evergreen trees, and Emily and I hung bird feeders between them. I was looking at the bird feeder when I suddenly got cold. Standing beneath a low branch between 2 trees about 50 feet away from us was a figure dressed in all black. But what made him more terrifying is it looked like every time he breathed, his breath coalesced in the air. It was like he was smoking, but that's not possible. We would have seen the light. I stopped, my hand instantaneously reaching out to stop Emily from going forward. She looked at me silently, and I guess she could tell that I was terrified. By this time I was shaking. In my 7-year-old mind, I was trying desperately to justify this figure's existence standing on our property. But I couldn't. Then my gaze caught sight of something else, a black SUV. It was parked across the road, facing down the street, but closer to Emily's driveway, not mine. Cautiously, I took a step back towards my house, a grip on Emily's wrist tightening. She understood my concern because she put her finger up to her mouth, indicating silence, as if I needed any additional convincing. We both had taken our eyes off the figure under the tree for only a minute, but when we looked back, he was gone. At that moment, we turned simultaneously and ran screaming back to my house. My mom, sister, and my other friends were on the porch within seconds of hearing our screams, asking what had happened. We explained what we saw, and my mom, always the brave one, decided to go look for herself. A few minutes later, she returned and said she couldn't find anyone or see anything. They were gone now. She also confirmed that there was no SUV. It's almost impossible to think that a person could have made it from those pine trees to the road, gotten in their vehicle, and driven off without us hearing or seeing it. Regardless, Emily decided it was best if she stayed over for the remainder of the night. The next morning, my dad, who got home extremely early, told my mom some chilling news. Apparently, a death row inmate escaped from prison in the next town over, stolen a car, and disappeared. Sudden chill climbing up her spine, she asked my dad what kind of car, to which he replied, "I think it was an SUV."